know about the rules of war, or what's been called the rules of engagement. In order to fight a war honorably, if that's even possible, there are certain parameters that you need to follow. One, you don't attack civilians, even though it has been done in the course of human warfare or the history of human warfare. Two, you don't attack women and children. That's a taboo in war. And supposedly, according to the philosophy, separates humans from animals or barbarians. Because according to the standard, only barbarians attack women and children. Forget about what Joe has to say about anything. He ain't running this show. Who identifies as a certain religion throughout the world, who was president. That's what's key. That's where the relationship spawned from. That's where the power, at least to run something like this, comes from. So, where are we going? Well, that should be pretty obvious. If they're going to become or adopt barbarian type tactics, then that's more than likely what we're going to see here. In other words, if your family was taken hostage and you were asked personally, would you be willing to give up your freedom to get your family back? Would you? Knowing that the rest of the world, if not your neighbors and countrymen, would be enslaved right along with you when you submitted? The rules of engagement have changed, and they aren't in our favor. If you were in the position that the negative side of this, and forget about political parties and ideologies and all this is a war between positive and negative. If you were on the negative side and you were about to be exposed to the world, to the things that you've been doing, would you not set fires around the world, hoping that one of them would catch in order to distract the world from what is potentially coming? Would you not kick your agenda into high gear and attack your political opponents and everything that we have been seeing done if you weren't worried about being exposed and caught? On the other side, and we better hope this is the way it is, after a short time, the entire what's called military industrial complex is going to be exposed to the public, or at least was in the public view. And if we're not willing to understand what we're looking at as it is exposed, we're doomed. My fear is this machine of death that they have built is so complicated that still, even after all of the examples set and things said and done, that they're still not going to get it. That people are still going to fall for the bullshit. And they will submit in the end because they view, and this is cold to say, their own is more important than their country. When the reality of it is, if it does come down to that scenario, the rules of war, the rules of engagement have already been broken. And from the moment that people are taken hostage, they are already casualties. Because there can be no surrender in this case. Because surrender ultimately will be death. So we better hope this one fire that they set around the world doesn't take. That it just smolders and puts off a little heat. Because this little fire that recently has been set could burn down the world.